This month, Nubia just launched their newest offerings, the V80 Design and Nubia Air. And in this video, we'll be focusing on the Nubia V80 Design. So I'm gonna stop with my lengthy intro and let's see what this one has. First off, let's talk about the looks. I know some of you are already seeing something quite similar to the V80 design. If you're thinking about the new iPhone 17 Pro models, you got me right. At first glance, I can't deny that it really got my attention. Even my friends were also amazed by how the phone looks. It looks premium, having a flagship-inspired design at a pocket-friendly price. Looking at the back panel, you can see how nice it appears to be. At the top, there's the huge camera bump or the so-called camera plateau that houses the camera lens and sensors along with its LED flash, which we'll talk about more later. You can also see the Nubia logo moniker at the bottom left. The back panel accentuates a matte finish display and it is made of a polycarbonate material. For ergonomics, the Nubia V80 design feels lightweight and easy to grip. This one slides into my pocket and bag smoothly. Durability-wise, it appears to be strong and quite durable. It is IP64 rated, which means it can resist dust and water splashes. And for extra protection, the phone comes with a jelly case in the box. For buttons and ports, the right side has the volume rocker and the power button, which doubles as a fingerprint sensor. Meanwhile, the other side has the AI button and the dual SIM card slot. At the top, you can see the microphone itself, while the bottom part has the USB Type-C port, a headphone jack, and the speaker grill. When it comes to biometrics, the phone supports both fingerprint and facial security. My only gripe about this one is that the facial registration is usually having a problem reading my face. Upon setup, it was able to pick up face data for about a millisecond. But when unlocking the unit itself, it says that the light is too dim and that I should move to a well-lit environment for easy verification. Even going to a brighter area, it still had slight problems when reading my facial registration. I highly suggest that you use the fingerprint sensor instead for smoother and more secure unlocking. Flipping over to the display, the Nubia V80 design sports a 6.75-inch HD Plus IPS LCD with support for 120Hz refresh rate. To be honest, it may have a high refresh rate, but I've experienced slight lags from time to time when scrolling on socials and reading some articles. For an entry-level unit, it has given me a decent performance. As per my multimedia experience, it was actually good, and not gonna lie, it was able to produce a good balance of colors for a phone like this. The phone's bezel has an appropriate size for its screen, not too thick and not too thin. And if you're wondering about using it outdoors, it's still fairly visible under direct sunlight. The Nubia V80 design can peak brightness of up to 1000 nits. For me, it's actually enough, and I say it was never a hassle bringing this one and using it wherever I go. Right now, this is where the Nubia V80 design falls short: the audio experience. Again, the display itself was decent for me, but the audio quality made me slightly underwhelmed. Sure, it is loud despite having only a single speaker, but the sound it produces is so muffled to my liking. Despite the fact there's a headphone jack that you can use at your own disposal for a better audio experience. Moving on to the cameras, the Nubia V80 design might deceive you for having a triple camera setup, but it doesn't. The camera plateau carries a 50-megapixel main lens, a 2-megapixel auxiliary sensor. The third lens? It would probably be just another auxiliary sensor. While at the front, there's a 16-megapixel selfie camera. Both the front and back cameras produce decent images. It may not be super great as some of you might expect, but it's decent enough for regular use. First of all, this is an entry-level smartphone, and for its class, it does capture nice images. Mainly thanks to its AI image processing, it helps render photos nicely. The AI cam mode on the camera app lets you zoom up to a maximum of 10 times zoom. But there's a dedicated 50-megapixel camera mode which lets you fully maximize the main lens. And for the night mode shots, it can still surprisingly capture good and decent images. For the portrait mode, there are times when the subjects aren't accurately captured. Most of the time, it struggles to have a decent amount of subject and background separation. How about macro? The Nubia V80 design doesn't have a dedicated macro lens. I still tried capturing close-up shots anyway, and obviously, it's not as great as expected. For video recording, the phone can shoot up to 1080p at 30 frames per second. That applies to both the main and front cameras. And with bare hands, you can quickly notice how shaky my video goes. The phone doesn't come with optical image stabilization, but if you have a stabilizer or tripod, then that would make your video a little more usable. I'm using the Nubia V80 design and it's shooting at 1080p at 30 frames per second. So this is the sample video of it using the front-facing camera. Powering the Nubia V80 design is the Unisoc Tiger paired with 8GB of RAM plus another 12GB of extended memory and 256GB of internal storage. Our expectations weren't that high given its chipset, but the phone still managed to deliver a satisfactory performance. I played titles like Mobile Legends and it was quite good. I must say, during my gameplays, I experienced lag and frame drops here and there, but if you've set the graphics from low to mid, the performance is relatively smoother. I've had my brother and sister play Call of Duty with the Nubia V80 Design, and the only thing they said to me that it was good, but not great. They have experienced the same thing I did with Mobile Legends, but lowering the graphics settings can help you avoid those lags and serious frame drops. So if you're into high graphic intensive games, this might not be the smartphone that you should go for. But for regular gaming and consumption, I'd say this one does the job well. For benchmark results, we have you covered and the numbers are appearing on your screen now. The Nubia V80 Design is running on the latest Android 16 skinned with MyOS on top. For its UI, in my opinion, it's not as exciting and fun to play around with. It's limited to arranging app icons, a few additional widgets, and wallpapers. That's pretty much it for home screen setup. There's some bloatware present, but they can be easily uninstalled, so it is not a major concern. The phone does support Google Circle to search, and as I said earlier, there's an AI button that does a screenshot of what's on your screen and goes immediately to AI memory. It has all the summaries of what was seen in the images for better memory retention. It's sort of a screenshot collector on steroids. You get the idea. Aside from that, there are other AI Nubia features that you can use, such as AI Live Translator, AI Notepad, AI Scam Alert. Speaking of updates, Nubia isn't exactly transparent in this regard, but we can expect at least 3 years of system updates. Battery-wise, the Nubia V80 Design is packing a 5000 mAh unit, and it gets paired with 22.5 watts of wired charging. With my regular usage, it lasted me a day and a half. That said, this is where the Nubia V80 Design shines the most for me. Reading articles, binge-watching series, doing vlogs, and gaming on the side, I have done all that on this phone without putting much pressure on the battery. In our PC Mark battery life test, it pumped out a good result of 18 hours and 58 minutes, and that's actually a pretty good number. As for our video loop test, it was able to achieve a result of 28 hours and 57 minutes. When it comes to connectivity, the Nubia V80 Design covers all the essentials. You get 4G LTE, Wi-Fi, dual SIM support, and GPS. For an entry-level phone, the Nubia V80 Design can indeed deliver decent performance from cameras, gaming, and long battery life. It may not be as great as we all thought of, but it's a daily driver that's probably worth having, especially of what we assume a very budget-friendly price. Yeah, I won't recommend this to users who are into heavy gaming, but for casual use, like gameplay, and if you want a sleek phone that goes plateau to plateau with the flagship in terms of design, then the Nubia V80 Design is an interesting option. So, if you found this video helpful, please like and share it. If you have any suggestions, please leave a comment below. If you would like to see more, subscribe to our channel and click the bell button for more updates. To be updated on the most recent happenings in the world of tech, visit yugatech.com and follow us on our socials. This is Earl, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!